Morning guys, so here we go, day 3, just in response to some of your questions today, and also just that conversation I had with one of our team members just on sleep, which I've kind of alluded to a little bit as we've gone. You're going to reach a point now, guys, where often not only will you tend to possibly beat your alarm, but you also might find that where you usually, particularly after some exercise or a long day at work, you may feel quite weary 9:30, 10. Then of course take yourself off to bed or whatever. You might find you get a little bit later into the day, 10:30, even 11, maybe even 11:15. You're still not really that weary. I mean, this is a good sign. Don't get hung up on you need 8 hours to function best. That's all bollocks. You'll function best day to day on what you and your brain believes you need. Now, some days I know I would function at my best on 5 hours. Other days, yeah, you're right. It just so happens I might bang out 7 or so. I do get up early just with what I do for a living. But you will find, guys, that the likelihood is as you start to burn ketones, that you probably might find yourself not as weary at the back end of the day, and just continue to watch television. Obviously reading is a good one to put yourself to bed. Right, just on training, I received a question on training too, guys. What's the best exercise type to do perhaps, and we've discussed intensity being quite conversational. Look, some of you I noticed, I would just say land-based exercise is always going to be the best, continuous in nature. Swimming, which I do and enjoy and love, and I accept that some of you in this team are swimming, but there's certainly more than enough evidence to say that swimming certainly increases an appetite, post-session, probably more than land-based. I think there seems to be evidence behind this whole thermoregulation thing, that when you're in water, you want to get warmer, so your brain tells you to go and eat to store more fat. Basically, most sea animals have fat, don't they, on them, and to keep themselves thermoregulated. So they think there's something to do with that. And certainly if you look at elite athletes around the planet, obviously land tracky athletes are going to be generally leaner than swimmers across the board. So I probably wouldn't swim for the week if that were possible. But if you swim, knock yourself out. And I'm certainly going to swim this week, that's for sure. Quick questions, guys. I got asked by Brett. So in an attempt to avoid sugar, he wants to know if you can put an artificial sweetener in his coffee. Yeah, look, by all means, if that comes a point of weaning off sugar and ultimately getting off it altogether, then by all means use an artificial sweetener. Again, evidence out there at the minute that seems to suggest that there's a link that the brain picks up the flavour and also has this similar effect on insulin by putting the artificial sweetener in. I'll see if I can put some show notes and some links to that evidence that I read the other day. But ultimately, of course, you would use an artificial sweetener over real sugar if that's the way you have to do it. I would say try and avoid it altogether, but by all means there. But use an artificial sweetener. Scott, I didn't get the surname, Scott Mack wants to know if you can put peanut butter on battered fish. Interesting option. I guess then both not sugar. I'd probably prefer the battered fish to be just fish, and peanut butter probably okay, probably low in sugar, an interesting option, but probably think of better alternatives. But yeah, I guess it's not too bad if that's what you normally eat. So anyway, guys, that'll do for today. Again, feel free to pump me some questions if you wish. Consider the sleep thing. Don't get the yips if you can't get to bed. You'll be okay. And certainly by week's end, it'll balance itself out. Keep ketoing.